Hi everyone, good morning. So in this class we are going to discuss the very basic things, okay, before going to start actual coding. So there are a few steps we need to remember. So what is the first steps? Like program structure. So, so then we need to follow some coding rules here, and we are going to discuss about level numbers. Okay, these are the three very important topics, okay, we are going to discuss. And next thing is data types. Okay, let me start one by one. So I already told you, right? Like it's in a Cobol, it's in structure oriented programming. Okay, we need to, in order to create any program, so we need to follow structure. So what is the structure we need to follow? So first, okay, so there will be an divisions. So inside the divisions, we have sections. So after these sections, paragraphs over here. Here we have sentences. So inside the sentences, we have a characters. Okay, this is the main program structure we are going to follow. So here, so how many divisions we have? Okay, in the Cobol, so it's like we have 4 divisions. So I already told you, like we need to remember like this. Okay, IEDP. So I means identification division.
నా ప్రోగ్రామ్ స్ట్రక్చర్ లో సెంటెన్స్ తర్వాత స్టేట్మెంట్ వస్తుంది కదా, క్యారెక్టర్స్ కాదు. ప్రోగ్రామ్ డివిజన్ సెక్షన్స్ పారాగ్రాఫ్ సెంటెన్స్ అండ్ స్టేట్మెంట్ లాస్ట్ వన్ స్టేట్మెంట్ వస్తుంది.
So if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the last. Okay, don't disturb in the middle.
Okay.
See that both are same only. So if you observe this one, so this one we will call it as, okay, this one we will call it as sentence or statements or characters. Okay, that is your wish. So here we have identification division. So in this identification division, program ID is the mandatory. Next, environment division. So in this environment division, we have one section like input output section. Inside this input output section, we have a file control. So in order to declare any files, declare files, we are going to use environment division under input output section under file control. So this division is mandatory if you want to declare any files. Okay. Next, data division. So inside this data division, again, we have three sections. One is file section. Working storage section. Next one is linkage section. So what is the use of these three sections here? So file section. So here we are going to define our files, either input or output. Next, working storage section. To declare a variables, we are going to use working storage section. So what is linkage sections here? In order to accept the values, or variables, accept the values from outside of the Cobol program. We are going to use linkage section. Next, procedure division. Okay, here we are going to write logics for the program. So if you want to write any logic, we are going to use procedure division. So coming to program structure, so divisions and sections, it is cleared here. Okay, so how many divisions are there? So we have 4 divisions: identification division, environment division, data division, and procedure division. So there is no change in the future also. So once you learn, so that's it. Inside these divisions, we have sections. So how many sections it is available? Inside environment division, there is one section, input output section. We have file control. So in order to declare any files, we are going to use this environment division. Otherwise, no need to use this division. Next, data division contains 3 sections. One is file section. So if you want to define any input file or output file, we are going to use file section. Working storage section. So to declare variables, we are going to use working storage section. Then linkage section. Linkage section is mainly to accept the values from outside of the Cobol program. So it's like from JCL, or called programs. Okay. So anyway, so this linkage section and input output section we are going to discuss later. Okay. So this will come later on, like while we are going to discuss about file concepts. Just to keep it in mind, so we have 4 divisions and 4 sections here. So 3 sections will come in a data division, and there is one section, it will come under environment division. Next, procedure division. Okay, coming to paragraphs and sentences and characters. Okay, so while we are writing any program, so what we will do, so earlier we are going to declare one paragraph here. So after writing a paragraph, there will be some sentences. So what is sentence here? Sentence or statements, both are same. So display, debug mode, display. Okay, this is called statements or sentence. So normally we'll call it as. So inside this statement, so what it is there, okay? D is the one character, I is one character, S is one character, T is one character, L is one character, okay? So that's why I told you like, this is the program structure. But you have to remember divisions and sections. So paragraphs and sentences and statements are characters. Based on our requirement, we are going to write it. Okay. Next, we need to follow some coding rules here. What are those coding rules? Okay. What are those coding rules? So if you see this program, okay. If you see this program, so this is a coding sheet. This is a coding sheet. So the coding sheet is nothing but it's like it will start from 1 to 72 or 80 bytes. Okay, 1 to 80 bytes. So it's like there are 1 to 80 columns. It is available 1 to 80 columns. So this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 is 10, 2 is 20, 3 is 40, 4 is 3 is 30, 4 is 40, 5 is 50, 6 is 60. Okay. So this means up to this one, there are 60 columns. 60 columns. So here we need to follow some coding rules. So it should not be like, okay, you can write it in anywhere. You have to follow some rules. So that's why I told you earlier itself. So Cobol is a structure oriented language. So you need to follow structure. There is one structure. We have to follow that structure. That's it. Okay. Coding rules. How many columns we have available? 1 to 80 columns available in a coding sheet. Okay. In a coding sheet. In a coding sheet. So what to write and where to write? Okay. We are going to see now. Just observe here. So first 6 bytes. If you observe this one, first 6 bytes. First 6 bytes. You can keep it as a blank. Or normally we will call it as for sequence numbers. So 1 to 6 is a sequence numbers. Next. There is 1 byte. Okay. 7. 7th byte here. It's like 7th column. So normally we are going to write it for indicator. So what is indicator? We'll see. Indicator. So indicator can be star or slash here. But star we are going to use it for comment line. So if you want to comment any line, okay, we are going to use star over here. That too we need to keep it in only 7th column. Okay, I want to comment this display. So here I need to keep it as star over here. So it's not working here. So like this, you need to write in a 7th column. So this means procedure division, we are going to comment out. Okay. So comment line is nothing but it's like, so the code is not usable or not executable in our program. Okay. Next, coming to, so the actual coding will start from 8th column. Actual coding will start from 8th column. Keep it in mind. So this is very, very important. So you can forget about sequence numbers. Either that is an optional. Either you can write or you cannot write. So that's not an issue. So 7th column is for indicator or comment line. Okay. So the actual coding will start from 8th byte. 8 to, okay, 8 to 72. 8 to 72. So again, here there is a problem. So we should not start everything from a 8th byte. So that's why they have segregated into 8 to 11. 8 to 11. It's like in area A. After 11 to 72. Okay. 11 to 72. It's in area B. So in area A, we are going to write divisions and paragraphs. Divisions and paragraphs. Sentences or statements or characters, we are going to write it in area B. So 8 to 11, we'll call it as area A. We are going to write divisions or sections and paragraphs here. Next, 12 to 72 is the area B. We are going to write sentences or statements or characters. Next, 73 to 80. So here also like line numbers. So this is also an optional. But the actual coding will start from 8 to 72. We have to keep it in mind is only 8 to 72, but 7 is for comment line. So here also you can write it anything. So not only sequence numbers, you can write anything, but this code is won't executable. So this also 73 to 80 also, it won't be executable. But you have to remember this one, 7 to 72. So 7 is for comment lines, 8 to 11 is area A, 12 to 72 is an area B. So in area A, we are going to write divisions, sections or paragraphs. Area B only sentences or statements or paragraphs. So this is how the coding sheet looks like. Okay, this is the coding sheet and coding rules we need to follow in a mainframe screen. If we are using Cobol online compiler, Okay, no need to follow these coding rules. But here also we are following some indentation. Indentation is nothing but it's like we are going to keep the coding in a format. See why we are not writing this display in a 11th column. So we have to understand what is the division and what is the paragraph, what are the statements. Okay, that we are going to call it as indentation. We need to follow some indentation. So what we are going to call it as indentation. Okay, so this is very, very important. If you take any programming, so indentation, we are going to use it for to understand the code very quickly. So if you write everything in a single line, so we are not able to understand. Okay, we are not able to understand. Suppose you can see this one. Okay, you can see this one. So this is the procedure division, right? Okay, you can assume that, okay, this is started from 8th column. Just observe here. See divisions, all the divisions started from 8th column. See divisions and paragraphs. Okay, see all the paragraphs also started from 8th column. So if you observe this one, sentences or statements, it is started from area B. Area B from 12 to 72. But here there is no columns here. But you have to keep it in mind like, okay, 8 to 11 is area A, 12 to 72 is area B. So this we are going to call it as indentation. See, we are not writing everything under procedure division, like, so where the procedure division is started or where the paragraph is started. Paragraph is started here, but we have given one tab space. So this is called, we are following some indentation so that we can easily understand. So this is a paragraph. Inside the paragraph, we have a statements or sentences, whatever it is. So this entire thing we can call it as indentation. So we are not going to write all the statements and paragraphs in a single column. So that's why we are going to give some spaces. So you have to know, so where to give space and tab, that's it. So that we are going to call it as indentation. So, okay. So far we have discussed program structure and coding rules. Okay. Level numbers and data types. Yeah, first we'll discuss about data types. So here, in order to declare any variables, so we are going to follow some data types. Okay. Suppose 01 ws number pick 9 of, okay, pick 9 of 5 here. Just observe here. So 01 here, 01 is a level number. So ws num is a variable. So picture class is common. Pick means picture class. So 9 is here, like data type. 5 is size. So here, what is the data type? Data type is 9. So here we have different types of data types, like numeric, alphabet, alphanumeric, sign, and decimal. So in order to declare any numeric values, we are going to use 9. For alphabets, we are going to use A, and alphanumeric, we are going to use X. Sign, we are going to use S. Decimal, we are going to use V, either dot over here. For example, so 9 is like, okay, it will store 0 to 9. Characters means alphabet means so it will store only A to Z, either it is a caps or small. Alphanumeric, it will store it as characters as well as numbers. What is sign over here? Sign is nothing but it's like plus or minus values. If you want to store any plus or minus values, you need to use sign. If you want to use any decimal, it's like amount fields or something, we are going to use so here also 0 to 9, for example 99.5. okay, this is the value. So if you want to store any decimal points, we are going to use this VR dot. So the same way, so if you want to declare any data types, so we are going to follow this syntax 01 WS number pick 9 of 5. Okay, instead of 9, we are going to use AX, okay, or S or V. Okay, depends on our usage. We are going to use this data type. So here numeric is the data type. This is the size. So I already told you. So instead of going to give 9 of 5, we can give 5 nines here. So this will also occupy same bytes of memory. Same bytes of memory. Next, what is pending? It is in a level numbers. So level numbers. So here, what is the level number here? 01 is a level number. Level numbers. Here, we have two types of level numbers. So one is general purpose. Second one is special level numbers. So what is general and what is special level numbers? We are going to see now. So general level numbers is nothing but it's like we have 0, 1 to 49. So this we are going to call it as general purpose level numbers. general purpose. So there is something called, it is in a special level numbers. So what are those special level numbers? So this is a very, very important question for interviews also. So one is 66, 77, and 88. Okay. So what are the level numbers do we have in Cobol? So we have two types of level numbers. One is general purpose and one is special level numbers. So general purpose is nothing but it's like we can declare 0, 1 to 49. We are going to call it as general purpose. Special level numbers, we have like 66, 77, and 88. So what is the use of these level numbers? What is the use of these level numbers? So here we have declared, right? So, okay. In order to declare any data item, we are going to use level numbers. Is the first thing. Okay. So without level number, it won't work. It won't work. Okay. So in order to declare any variable, we are going to give as 0, 1, ws name pick x of 30, suppose. So this is one variable. So this entire thing we are going to call it as a data item. So here the variable name is ws name, 0, 1 is the level number, x is the data type, 30 is the size. The same way, I want to declare another variable ws amount, pick 9 of 5, v 9 of 2. So this is how we can declare our variables. But the level number is mandatory. Okay. So why we are using 0, 1? So that is fine. So why we have 0, 1 to 49? So you can use any variables instead of 0, 1. You can use 0, 5 ws first name px of 30. Okay, I don't want to use 0, 5. I want to use 20. Okay, ws f name pick x of 20. So I don't want to use 20 also. I want to use 44. You can use it. ws l name pick a of 5. Okay. So we have a level numbers 0, 1 to 49. 0, 1 to 49. You can use it any level number for general purpose in order to declare these variables. But here is the problem. Suppose if you declare it as a group variable as a 0, 5, so the next level number is we have declared as a 20. You have to keep it in a elementary element, not an individual elements. So not an individual element. So if you assume WSF name is group element, WSL name is the elementary element. So that's why I have given as a 0, 5. So by seeing the program, by seeing the variable itself, you can understand. So which one is the group variable and which one is the elementary element here. So group elements, as we discussed in earlier classes, group elements doesn't contain picture class. If you assume 05ws name is the group element contains, there are two elementary elements. This contains picture class, but these two should be in a these two should be in same level number. Okay, I want to declare another sub element here. So in that case, you can write it like this: 30 ws x of 20. So now if you print ws full name, so this 45 bytes, this entire 25, 20 plus 5, 25 plus 20, so 45 bytes it will occupy. If you print only ws name, only 20 bytes it will take, because this is a group element, this is a group element. Group element contains two elementary elements, and again there is one group element. In this group element again we have a one sub element here, one sub element. This is how we can use, but normally we are going to use anyway. So 0 1 0 1 only for elementary elements or individual elements here, 0 1. In order to declare any sub elements, we are going to use 0 5 or 10, something will be like that. So that is depends on requirements or depends on usage, we are going to use that. So you can use any number. So we have general purpose level numbers. You can use any number here, 0 1 to 49, 0 1 to 49. But whenever we are going to declare group element, the elementary element should be lesser than this one. I mean, so after 0 5 only 20 will come, right? So you should not declare 0 2 or 0 3 here. So if you declare 0 5 here, so you should declare either 6 or 7 or 10, whatever it is. So in general purpose, so what are the level numbers it will come? So 0 1 to 49. So you can use it for general usage, like in order to declare any group element or sub elements. So here, if you observe this one, this is an individual element. Okay, here there is no group. So how we can decide whether it is a group element? So group element does not have picture class. Also, by seeing the structure itself, we can easily understand what is a group element. So here WSF name is the main group element. So inside this group element, there is another subgroup, WS name is there. Okay, this entire, all the data items will come under this group elements. By seeing the level numbers itself, we can easily understand. Okay, so what is a group element and what is the sub elements? Okay, this is the usage of level numbers. Next, coming to special level numbers. Okay, coming to special level numbers. So what is the special here? So compared to general, what is the special? So 66, we are going to use it for renames class. 77 for individual. We cannot subdivide. 88 is like conditional check. Just observe here. First we will discuss about 77 and 88. Later we will discuss on 66. So most of the cases anyway, we are going to use 66, but sometimes we are going to use 77 and 88. But you have to know, so what is purpose of special level numbers? 66 and 77 and 88. So here, if you observe this one, 01 WS F name. So here we have subdivided into multiple variables. Okay. But by using 77 is a level number, we cannot subdivide like this. So that should be only single item. Okay. So I'm going to declare as 77 WS phone number, pick 9 of 10. So whenever you are going to use the level number as 77, we cannot subdivide further. Suppose you should not be write like this 30 WS first 5 numbers like this. So this is wrong. So whenever you are going to use 77, so that means it is an individual element. We cannot subdivide further. So we are not able to subdivide this element. So in that case, we are going to use 77. In that case, we are going to use 77. Individual elements, we are going to use 77. So next, what is 88? So 88, it's like for conditional check. So what is the conditional check we are going to apply here? Suppose WS day is the variable. Pick X of 10 here. So if you observe this one, 88, so here, whenever you are going to use 88, so there is no picture class. It is available for this one. Sorry, WS day. So there is no picture class here. X of 10 value is Monday. WS value Tuesday. So in order to display WS day, okay. So suppose if we are going to display WS day, so what is the value it will get print? So now it has spaces. So I want to set the value. Monday as a true. So you can go with set WS Monday to true. So what it will do? So whenever you are going to use this statement, set WS Monday to true. Okay, WS Monday is the variable. To true means automatically this Monday value it will get stored into WSD. So now this WSD contains Monday. Again, I want to set this value as a true. So what it will do? So instead of Monday, Tuesday will go and set it into that variable. Tuesday to true. wsda contains now Tuesday. Now it contains Tuesday. So we are not passing directly to this variable wsda. So what we are doing, just we are setting the values to 88 level numbers. Okay, just we are setting the values. So whenever we are going to set the value, whenever you are going to set the particular variable, automatically this value will go and set it into this variable. So another example is, suppose while using file concepts, okay, ws file. So you want to know whether the file is successfully completed or not. So one is for end of the file, x of 1, value is y, 88, not end of the file, x of 1, value is n. Okay, just observe here. It's like either you want to set true or false values, So that time we are going to use 88 level numbers. So that's why we are going to call it as conditional check. Conditional check. Suppose I'm going to set it as ws end of the file to true. So what it will do? So whenever I'm going to check this value or either ws file, either you can use both variables. If ws display file end successfully, else not. The same way we can do this one. Don't get confused. 88 levels, we are going to use it for conditional check. So here we don't have any picture clause for 88 level numbers. Either if you want to set true or false, so that case it is help us. So I'm going to set it as ws end of the file to true. If end of the file, so I'm not going to assign anything. So either it is a true. If it is a true, we are going to write some logic. Otherwise, we are going to write another logic. You can use this individual element as well as this group element also. So that is depends on our usage. So in that case, it is help us. Okay, 77 for individual element. So there is no subdivide further. So we are not able to subdivide into sub elements here. 88 is for conditional check. Next, coming to 66. So what is the use of 66 level number? What is the renames class? Okay, so just observe here 01 ws number 1 big X of 5. Just observe. So we have a 4 elements here. We have 4 elements here. So I want to keep the first three elements data. You can assume value for 1, 2, 3, value for 3, 4, 5, value for 4, 5, 6. Next value is 5, 6, 7. So these are the values. It gets stored into these individual elements. So I have another variable ws numbers. I want to keep only first 3 elements data. So there is one approach. The first approach. The first approach is we are going to use reference modification. So what is reference modification here? We are going to see now. Move ws number 1. Okay, number 1 to. So where we are going to write? So I'm going to move it into this variable. Now this variable contains, you can assume 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Again, I want to move ws number 2 to ws numbers. So whenever I'm going to move this number to, first 1, 2, 3 will get replaced and 3, 5, 6 will get stored because override is happening here. So that's why we are going to use reference modification. After 3 bytes, 3 colon, how many bytes you want to store it? There is a 5 bytes of data. Okay. So first one also 5 bytes. Okay. Leave it 5 bytes. 6 byte to another 5 bytes. So what it will do? 1, 2, 3 spaces. Again 3, 4, 5 will get print. So this is called reference modification here. Reference modification. We are taking the reference of the variable and we are going to modify the string. Okay, next move ws number 3 to ws numbers. So again, so 5 plus 5, 10 bytes is over. You need to take 11th byte to 5 bytes. 11th byte to 5 bytes. 1, 2, 3 spaces. 3, 4, 5 spaces. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. So now if you print ws number, if you print ws numbers, so what is the output? It will come. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. Because we are not overriding this variable, we are using reference modification to add the values at the last. Okay, this is called reference modification. So this is one of the approach. Okay, this is one of the approach. So here we need to write these lines of code, 3 lines of code. Suppose you want to add 20 characters, 20 variables. In order to achieve that functionality, you need to write 20 lines of code like this, the same 20 lines of. So that's why we have a renames clause. We have a renames clause. Whenever you are going to use renames, what it will do? So it will work like perform through in a Cobol. But first 3 bytes of this variable and next 3 bytes of this variable and this variable. It will take it and it will directly move into corresponding variable here. Okay, how to write the code is, okay, just observe here. 66 WS numbers. So renames is a class. From where to where you need to copy. From where to where you need to copy. That's it. WS number one through WS number 3. Suppose you can assume there are 12 months. In order to copy from 5th month to 10th month into one variable, so you need to write 5 move statements here. So instead of going to write 5 move statements, so what we are going to do is just we are doing like, okay, 66 numbers renames, okay, renames number 1 through number 3. So whatever the data it is there from 1 to 3, it will take it and it will print into, it will store it into this one. So this is the second approach. So that is your wish. Either you can go with reference modification or renames clause. So again, I'm going to tell. So we have 2 types of level numbers. One is general purpose. Second one is special level numbers. So general purpose, we are going to use it to declare any variables and individual items or sub elements. We have 0, 1 to 49 level numbers. By seeing the level numbers, we can understand. So what is a group element and what is the elementary element, like this. Here we have 66 and 77 and 88 are special level numbers. 66, we are going to use it for renames clause. So what is the use of renames clause? If there is some set of values, in order to copy all the variables into one variable at a time, we are going to use renames clause. Next, 77. In order to declare any individual element, if you don't want to subdivide, in that case, we are going to use 77. 88 is like conditional check. Either the value is, you want to set it as true or false. We are going to use 88 level numbers. So I'm going to give, there are 2 or 3 interview questions as we discussed earlier. Okay. You have to prepare answers for those and you have to send an email to me. The first one is, So how many divisions in Cobol present and what is the mandatory division? Next one is what is reference modification? Next one is what are the special level numbers? What are the special level numbers we have in a Cobol? Okay. So these three are the interview questions. You have to prepare a Word document and you have to send an email to me. So you can Google it, okay? If you want, you can Google it. Either if you refer this class notes, you'll get to know all the answers, okay? It is code 21 at the rate. So this is the email ID. You have to prepare. So daily I'm going to give 3 or 4 interview questions. You have to prepare answers for those in your own way. So don't copy paste entire thing from Google, okay? Okay, that's it from today's class. So if you have any questions, you can ask me now.